Hello everyone and welcome back to another Relink video. Today we're going to be covering arguably one of the strongest and most popular characters, NARMAYA. Yeah, it's really NARMAYA. Here, listen.
私の名前はナルメヤ。困ったことがあったら、お姉さんに任せてね。
She's one of the strongest raw damage characters in the game and is surprisingly easy to approach, so take a step back and enjoy my guide to NARMAYA. Okay, so NARMAYA's support skills are Butterfly Effect and Take Flight, which allow you to stance swap and consume butterflies respectively. Butterfly Effect allows you to stance swap by pressing Y. Each stance has a different attack combo and associated finishers. In the Freeflutter stance, you get a long multi-hit combo that ends with the vertical spin finisher that grants a butterfly. From the 5th hit onward, you'll gain additional hits depending on how much you mash. It's really hard to input exactly the right amount, so I usually just mash until the start of the vertical spin. Additionally, although it's not mentioned, you get about 5% more attack per butterfly while in Freeflutter stance. In Dawnfly, you get a 4-hit combo and access to a charged attack which grants a butterfly. The charged attack can be released at any point, and the charge speed can be sped up if you use it immediately after the last hit of the Dawnfly attack combo, following any attack skill, performing the Dawnfly finisher after stance swapping from Freeflutter, or performing a link attack. In addition to the base combos, NARMAYA has access to a stance swap finisher that also grants butterflies. In Freeflutter, you follow the final hit after the spin by pressing the stance swap button. This will swap you into Dawnfly and perform a series of hits ending with a horizontal slash, which you can follow with an accelerated charge. In Dawnfly, you wait for the sword sheath after the charged attack and then press stance swap. This will shoot forward a projectile that damages all enemies and continues to hit them for an additional 13 hits. After you shoot the projectile, you'll be able to continue the Freeflutter attack combo from the middle. You can also perform the stance swap finisher following a link attack. Simply press Y following the link attack and it'll perform the associated finisher based on your stance. If you can plan ahead for it, try to be in Dawnfly so you can swap into and perform the Freeflutter finisher, as it's stronger and allows you to attack while the damage resolves. The link attack also grants a butterfly on hit even without the finisher. Chained correctly, you'll be able to flow back and forth between the stances and never have to use the start of the attack combo. Remember, you can continue your combos after dodging, so using dodge can be an effective way to avoid damage and moving. Because of this, I recommend taking improved dodge if you can fit it into your build. Next, let's talk about her skills. Kyoka Suigetsu is a very quick dash on a low cooldown. It's an excellent gap closer and should be part of every build. Setsuna is a charged attack that does a high amount of damage. The skill damage ratio goes up the longer it's charged, but the damage cap remains the same. With enough gear, you can even get the tapped version of the skill to do almost as much, if not the same amount as the fully charged one. Also, keep in mind that it's possible to cancel this skill early, so make sure that the final slash happens before you make any more actions. Transient is the highest damage ability in NARMAYA's kit and should also be included in every build. It performs differently based on which stance you're in, with Freeflutter doing more damage but Dawnfly having slightly more AoE. Most of the time, you'll be using this in Freeflutter stance. Apex of Nothingness is her iconic auto parry that deals moderate damage, dispels, and slows the target. If the parry doesn't proc, it only deals a small amount of damage, so if you're going to use this, make sure you time it with a boss attack or use lingering AoE pulls to insta-proc it. Crescent Moon deals damage with a quick slash and also jumps her backwards. Dance of Pink Petals is a powerful buff that grants you supplementary damage, 30% attack, Stout Heart, and 3 butterflies. Dance of Blue Petals grants 40% defense, 3 butterflies, and heals NARMAYA. It's generally not taken since there are almost no penalties to dodging, and sustain is covered via drain or potions. Utter Devotion is a utility skill that effectively taunts all targets in a massive area and applies a 25% defense debuff to them. As with all her buff skills, it also grants 3 butterflies. Unfortunately, the benefits of this skill don't justify the cost of a skill slot and is also generally not taken. Thanks to Take Flight, Narmaya's attack skills get buffed when consuming butterflies. Kyoka Suigetsu, Transient, Apex of Nothingness, and Crescent Moon gain additional hits based on how many butterflies are consumed. Additionally, Setsuna's charge speed will greatly increase and the slow from Apex of Nothingness will last longer depending on butterfly consumption. Keep in mind that your skills will consume all your butterflies, so if you chain them together, only the first one will get buffed. Also, the attack skills allow you to chain into the latter part of the basic attack combo, effectively letting you skip the slow beginning section of it. During Link time, you have unlimited butterflies, so you want to execute all your skills and attacks during the cooldowns. The skill prio should be Dance of Pink Petals if the buff isn't active, Transient, followed by the rest of your attack skills, usually Setsuna and Kyoka Suigetsu. Also, try to stay in Freeflutter to gain the extra attack per butterfly. Just like with Link time, if you have butterflies, try to be in Freeflutter before performing your SBA. To recap, butterflies are generated from the Freeflutter finisher, Dawnfly charged attack, stance swap finishers, link attacks, and buff skills. Attack skills consume those butterflies, so make sure you have 6 butterflies for transient and use it in Freeflutter whenever possible. You want to avoid the slow starting attacks of each stance's combo by using stance swap finishers or skills. Alright, let's move on to her build. For weapons, I'd recommend using the Stinger series weapon Florithium Blade for its crit rate and damage until you get her terminus weapon, Ameno Habakiri. There are a lot of options for imbuing Wrightstones, and what you should take depends on what your build looks like, but generally speaking you'll want a Vitality Wrightstone with 10 crit along with something like Drain, Cascade, Quick Cooldown, or Link Together for utility. But getting offensive traits like Stamina, Tyranny, Life on the Line, Skilled Assault, or Combo Booster can also be beneficial, even more so if it's the first source of the trait. Guts and Auto Revive are also really common secondary traits, but if you don't get any plus sigils with them, you could also go for those on the Wrightstone. And of course, if you've won the lottery, the 7+5 damage cap Wrightstone would be the ideal imbue. Finally, make sure you add Mirage Munitions to your weapon to get it to plus 99. Before we get to her over masteries, I want to point out a couple things from her standard mastery tree. In the offensive tree, we get Charged Parry, which allows us to parry an attack by timing the release of our Dawnfly charged attack. Timed well, you'll completely negate the attack and also gain invincibility as if you had dodged. We also gain Freeflutter and Dawnfly stance specs up, which give us Stout Heart during the combo finisher and charged attack. For her overmastery, you'll naturally want 20% crit chance to max your crit. NARMAYA actually benefits more from skill cap than normal attack cap, but you really want to roll until you get all 3 of crit chance, skill cap, and normal attack cap. For her 4th slot, you can flex in skill damage up, flat attack, or SBA damage up. For sigils, let's break it down into 2 sections. If you're on Maniac and below, focus on getting your crit chance to 95%. Offensive Masteries and your Florithium Blade should get you to 79, and you can get the rest with Overmastery or Imbuing / Sigils. Next, equip any damage cap sigils, 1 to 3 damage increase sigils, such as Stamina, Tyranny, Combo Booster, or Skilled Assault. The first sigil gives the biggest value, so go for 3 different ones if possible. Also, if you're using Tyranny, try to offset the HP loss with an Aegis somewhere in your build. Then, 0 to 2 crit rate sigils, enough to get to the 95 to 100% crit rate range, 1 to 2 class sigils, and if you have 45 crabs, Crabby Resonance. Crab Vestment Returns is also a great defensive trait if you find yourself taking too much damage and getting downed often. If you get 3 or 4 plus sigils, Drain, Cascade, Uplift, and Link Together are all great secondary traits that give decent increases at low levels. Her class sigils are Butterfly's Valor and Grace. Grace grants an additional butterfly whenever you generate one, and Valor gives you a 50% chance not to consume butterflies. You really want to have both in your build, but if for whatever reason you have to pick one over the other, take Grace. For players on Proud and above with or working towards her Terminus weapon, the bare bones of the build are 1 to 2 slots for class sigils, 3 to 5 for damage cap, 1 for crit rate, 1 war elemental, if you have it, 2 to 3 damage increase sigils. I recommend stamina, tyranny, and combo booster as your first 3. With these 3, you'll be able to tap Setsuna for about 90% of the total damage output, and if you have buffs, debuffs, or other traits, you'll be able to deal your full Setsuna damage without charging it, which is huge for DPS, and also allows you to use the skill with no butterflies active. Additionally, using SPA will instantly full charge your combo booster, giving it the full effect of the sigil, and allows you to maintain that full stack if you act immediately following it. Once you have all of those, you can take supplementary damage for not only the damage procs, but also to help you stack combo booster and cascade. Speaking of which, cascade is a great option that can be capped with 1 sigil and 4 points on your Wrightstone, and can shave about 45 seconds off the cooldown of your Dance of Pink Petals. If you get sigil combinations that allow it, Skilled Assault can be taken as the 4th damage increase sigil of the build. It'll allow you to guarantee max damage on your tap Setsunas. As you get more 5+ sigils and open up free slots, some great options include Potion Hoarder, Improved Dodge, Guts, Auto Revive, Drain, Quick Cooldown, Nimble Onslaught, Link Together, and Stout Heart. Quick cooldown gives a lot of value even at 16 out of 45 trait levels, so try to fit one into your build if you're able. Nimble Onslaught is great, especially on bosses with extended Bloodthirst phases with easy to dodge attacks like Piet A or Blackworm. And Stout Heart is more of a personal preference thing, but I really enjoy having it active 100% of the time. Your sigil setup will likely change as you get different combinations, so try to be mindful of why you're adding certain traits into your build, so you can be flexible in the future as needed. This is a great example of an endgame build with maxed crit and damage cap, 4 damage increase sigils, max supplementary damage, improved dodge, and a hefty amount of quick cooldown. A build like this won't come quickly, but it's definitely something you should work towards. Also, if you play with a specific team and Link Together is going to allow you to get good CBA windows, you could consider taking it over a supplementary damage. And that's it from me. NARMAYA is an easy to approach character, just as she is in the story, and the satisfaction of flowing back and forth between her stances is what keeps me coming back for more. If you'd like a written form, there's a wonderful guide on the Relink community Discord, compiled by Cypher, in the guides section. So make sure you check it out and come by the NARMAYA mains channel to say hello. If this guide was helpful, don't forget to leave a like and comment below with what sigils you found recently. Seriously, I can't find any, so let me live vicariously through you. Hit that subscribe button if you want to see more guides and videos, and as always, happy hunting.